Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay.
Titania. All right. It's Titania Jordan. Okay, welcome everybody to today's episode of Connect. If you sense just like this energy leaping off the screen, it's because I've got Ginger Lightburn here. And if you don't already know her, like, wow, she just brings the light to any room she enters. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
And just like right off the bat, you've had a really cool life. You were on the dance team at University of Georgia, right?
Yes, I was. I was a Georgette. Go Dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like how many people does Sanford Stadium hold?
I think we're at 92,000,
Yeah.
some 91,000 of our closest friends. It's all good.
Yeah. So you just go out there and yes, like fabulousness.
We do. We do
Yeah.
our little thing, and
It's coordinated and it's sharp and it's on point and like.
And it's awesome. It's the most amazing experience, honestly, because you're just there and then 91,000 people around you. It's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
It was really fun. We had a great time. I would not do it now. I don't know. Then it worked out well. Yeah.
So she's not shy, and beyond being an incredibly skilled dancer, she's a very, very sharp businesswoman and a wonderful mother
Aw.
to three beautiful
Thanks.
children. And if the name Lightburn sounds familiar, it's because you may have heard of her husband, David Lightburn, who is the president of the Atlanta Tech Village. Yep. But today we're focusing on what I think is the more awesome half of the Lightburn
I mean,
duo.
some say the better half.
Just girl, I'm saying girl power. Like
That's
we're,
right. Whoop,
you know,
whoop.
no offense, David, you're awesome too, but
Love
like,
you.
yeah, I've got Ginger here, so that's what we're talking about today. Ginger, tell everybody what you're doing these days.
Yes, so I am a realtor with Village Realty. We actually were formed in the Atlanta Tech Village.
Yes.
So the folks that did the two Davids, David Cummings and David Lightburn, who created the Atlanta Tech Village, also created Village Realty. So I'm a realtor there, and it's keeping me on my toes. The market's pretty crazy. I also happen to be a mom of three, so that's always exciting. Woo!
Yes, all of the coffee.
So lots of caffeine, lots of sugar in my house. Yes. So, but that's what I do every day, day in, day out.
And you know, everybody knows a real estate agent, multiple, right? And real estate firms. What is different about Village Realty?
Yeah, so Village Realty is actually really different than any of the traditional brokerages. Really the goal and the reason that Village was created is because we feel like there's a lot of technology that has been created for the real estate industry, but then a lot that has been created outside that could apply. So we wanted to take the best of both worlds. So what we know about the great experience that a realtor can offer you and our market knowledge, and mix it with the technology that's out there, so we can work smarter and more efficient and smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
And be more communicative all the way around, and make it a much better experience for our buyers and sellers on the other end. So so that's kind of our big piece. You know, the interesting thing about technology is it's always disruptive when it comes into an industry for the first time. Real estate's no different. It's very disruptive, but it's good because it can promote growth and development and just improve things. The difference is that in real estate, there's really not a technology platform or service that can cover the whole thing. And what I mean by that is technology tends to take out and remove the human element of real estate, and you kind of can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about it. You're buying a house for your kids or for your family or whatever it is. There's a very strong human piece to it. So what Village Realty was created to do was take the best parts of technology and apply it to what can we do to make the job and the role of the realtor more efficient and make us as realtors better, but then take a lot of the things off of our plate, like the marketing and the social media piece and all that kind of stuff, so that I can focus on my clients and I can give them the best 5-star experience and not have to worry about splitting my time between.
That's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Because as a realtor, you have so many people, anybody who's in a sales position has that, right? You have to worry about growing your own business, but you also want to take care of those clients because that's what's at the core of your heart. I mean, that's what you want to take care of.
Right.
So what Village did is they created a team back behind them. So every buyer and seller I have has this huge team behind me that can take some of the stuff off my plate, like paperwork and signing things and my marketing, where I have to go out and promote my brand and that kind of thing. They kind of do it for me through a lot of technology pieces and through the human element of the team that we have there, so that I can focus on.
So you can be
on
you.
I can be me.
Be
I can do what I do best, you know?
Yeah.
And just hang out and buy houses, you know? That's what I do.
That is so much fun.
But you know, think about it. So when you went to buy your house for your family, there's all the facts and figures. So you can go through any neighborhood and you have your technology and you can find out how many square feet it has in the yard and how many bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. You can get all the facts and figures. But it's me as your realtor that can say, hey, this is a really high growth area. This is a place you want to invest in. Or maybe this one's kind of trending in a different direction. Maybe we should look at some other options. But you've already got your heart into it. You've already figured out how many birthday parties you're going to have in the backyard.
Where the pony's going to live with the balloons.
Where the pony is.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. You know, I mean, where the media room is, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I can help kind of put all those pieces together, and we can kind of leverage technology, the best parts of technology together, and the best part of me, and make your family's hopes and dreams. Because if you're like me, I want to buy a place that has like, you know, where my kids' childhood memories are going to be held. So when you're buying a house, you're buying something more than that, and that's where the technology piece kind of breaks down. So we kind of bring it all back together.
I love it.
Through Village Realty, and not to mention, I mean, I don't know about you. You may be like a worldwide investor, but for most people, it's the largest investment you'll ever make.
Yes.
And it's your personal finances.
Yeah.
So it's a really big deal that it goes well, and that it goes, you know, efficiently and smoothly, and it's a smart buy. So that's kind of what Village focuses on, is how can we make it the best experience all the way around.
For both the agents and the buyers.
Right, for the agents and the buyers.
So what does that look like for a buyer? If I'm like, all right, Ginger, we're gonna do it. Let's gonna buy a house. How is my experience going to be different with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my personal experience is that I'm a relationship-oriented person, so I need to know more about you. Like, what is it that makes you tick? What do you like? What does your lifestyle look like? And those are things that we'll have conversations about. And then I'm going to say, what technology do you like? What are you comfortable with? Are you a millennial and you like texting? Are you a little more traditional and you like me to call you? So that I know the best way to communicate with you that is your comfort level.
Wow.
And then I'm going to take the technology that Village Realty has put in place for me, and we're going to make that work as seamlessly as possible. So I'm going to send you a website where you can just pop your fingers on, and you can tell me what you like about it, even if I'm not sitting right next to you. You know, so there's just a constant flow of communication, and I think that's the biggest difference with me, is that I'm just constantly, how are you feeling about this? What are your thoughts here? I'm bringing you new ideas that maybe you didn't think of before, and I'm doing it all through personal conversations or whatever it is that you need, and through like whatever app you like, the Realtor app, or if you like the Zillow app, or if you like the portal that I set up through Village, you know, whatever it is, so that we see your whole picture. And I'm going to kind of push you and nudge you a little bit too. So you think you need 3 bedrooms, but have you really thought through, you know, what about when grandma comes to visit? Or what about Thanksgiving? You know, that kind of thing. You know, so I'm going to kind of push you a little bit too. And
I see the big picture.
Much bigger picture. Much bigger picture.
That's so important.
It is.
You know, I wish I would have had you in my life when we bought our first home. Yeah. You know, we paid
I get that a lot, actually.
Right? We paid way too much for it. Then the market crashed, and we were stuck in this little box. And like, we were in Brookhaven, but we were in a box.
Yeah.
You know, and then like we were like, oh, we're going to buy this house and flip it for a profit. And it's like, no, I've actually got to wait about a decade for the market to go back up and to do that.
We're going to get comfy here.
We're going to get real comfy here. Yeah. So it would have been really helpful to have, you know, just that insight. So it's
that's
really
the critical
cool.
piece about realtors too, is we are hyper local. We are very hyper local. So when you go to buy into Brookhaven, you know, there were some pieces of Brookhaven that actually did, you know, even through the recession, some of it still exploded. But to know which pieces those are just by looking at a map or looking at an app are very, very difficult to do. So that's where, you know, my role kind of comes in to be like, I know you love this one, but maybe we look a little further here.
Overpriced.
A little overpriced.
And by little, I mean a lot.
Yeah. And by a little, I mean 100 grand, but whatever, it's fine.
It's fine. There's no problems there. And it's really cool too that you have that connection to the Atlanta Tech Village.
Yeah.
You know, David Lightburn, David Cummings, who kind of knows a little something about marketing automation.
I mean, he's dabbled in it.
Data analytics and efficiency and just improving customer experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows a little bit. I mean, he's been around for a day or two.
Right. Yeah. So that's really, really cool to have that relationship.
It is. It's a relationship that I think from this kind of perspective is something that somebody who wouldn't necessarily have that relationship with David Cummings can take advantage of, because it just becomes a trickle effect. You know, that's where he's creating with David Cummings, with David Lightburn, kind of creating it together, and then it trickles down through me, which ultimately trickles down to the buyer and seller, who wouldn't have that direct correlation with David. So that's been very helpful too. And he's, they're both just so great.
Sharp, super sharp,
super sharp, super sharp.
I was given, I was given D-Light a little bit of flack earlier, but you're awesome, and so it's
we'll keep him. It's fine.
We'll keep him.
That's fine.
How in the world do you manage everything? Because everybody wants a piece of you in different ways, right? Like you appeal to both the high-tech consumer, but also the low-tech, who doesn't want to deal with all that wants the phone call. And you have 3 children. Like, how are you functioning?
3 young children.
Yeah. How are you functioning?
There's a lot of caffeine involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prayer.
Yes.
Lots of that. No, it is a lot. I will not lie. It is. It's a full schedule. It is. But I think it's one of those things where you kind of know where your priorities are. So you kind of figure out what those are, and you start there, and you fill up everything else. And I think it's just like anybody else. Everybody's day is full, and everybody's day is busy. You just have to pick which ones are the most critical to you, and take care of those pieces, and then just slowly kind of filter out. Google Calendar is my best friend.
Lord Jesus, thank you for Google Calendar.
Thank you for that, because without those little reminders of where I'm supposed to be, that I'm not, that I have 10 minutes to get
That happens to you too?
That happens to me all the time.
Okay, good, because I feel like I'm failing in so many aspects of my life.
You too. I know. And it's hard.
It's really hard.
Oh my gosh, I can get, my brain before kids was so much better than my brain after kids. I could keep so much happening in here. And now I've added 3 adorable little felonies.
Nuggets.
There,
felonies.
Not felonies. Juvenile delinquents sometimes. We've added them into my world, and my brain just kind of can't hold it all. So I use a lot of Google Calendar, but it really is. I joke, but seriously, it is a lot to do. But I have a very supportive husband, and that makes a big difference.
Yes,
big difference, because he lives in the world of entrepreneurs, and you know what that world looks like. It's just never the same. It's never a routine. It's never something that you can kind of get into a flow of. So in the real estate world and in kid world, it's never that either. So it's kind of nice that we both have those worlds, and we can kind of be crazy together.
Yeah.
And we just understand where our priorities lie, and then how we build out around it.
I love it. I love it. So you use Google Calendar. Are there any other techie or non-techie tips or tricks you have for how you keep it all as much as you can together?
Well, so in my kid world, I've, of course, because we are who we are, we over-volunteer for everything. So I'm the room mom for all 3 of my kids' classes. And I volunteer for all these crazy things that I really should learn to say no. And I just can't, because that's who I am.
Wow.
But so there's a lot of efficiencies. The whole Google suite for me, Google Docs, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
That is my lifesaver in mixing those 2 pieces in. Oddly enough, Shutterfly and Pinterest are major pieces for me, which you wouldn't think in the real estate world. You wouldn't think that Pinterest would be such a big deal.
Oh,
but
huge.
For me, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Because then I can sit there and say, you can tell me what the picture in your head is, but I can't take that picture and put it in my head. But if you're on Pinterest and you can say, this is what I like. When I say open, this is what I mean with open. So I can actually get a visual, and that cuts down on my time a lot. A lot of my guessing game is eliminated right there, just because I can see exactly what you're going for. And then the same thing for my kids too. There's all kinds of, Shutterfly is great for sending out messages and calendars and organizing volunteers and doing that kind of piece to it. So, which I don't know if you know that about Shutterfly.
Totally, yeah. Shutterfly is primarily seen as a photo service, but we're using it now for Jackson's class, and I cannot believe you're the room mom. Like,
I know.
I can believe it, but like, I did that once. I did that when Jackson was 3, and I was like, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
I think that's most people's experience.
Yeah, so like, it takes a whole nother special level of human to manage all of that.
Yeah, it's a whole nother level, you know, and I feel like I should say no sometimes, but I just
but it's
can't.
But that's why you're so awesome. Like, you're a giver. You just want to give and give and give and support and uplift, and that's why you're here today. Because I just love you. I love what you do.
so sweet.
I love your vibe that you put out there. And like, anybody who doesn't know you, like, they need to know you.
Well, I mean, but you know, really the reality is I think if I didn't keep a positive attitude, I would crack. And all the pieces would fall apart. It would just be like, you know, one of those, what's that game that you played when you were a kid and it was stacked up? Jenga.
Yeah.
It's like if I pulled the positive one and it was gone, the whole thing would crumble. So, I mean,
that is my life.
That is, yes, that's what I do. So I just kind of keep that piece as my cornerstone and, you know, kind of hope that the tower doesn't fall. But, you know, I think that's kind of the key is you just got to keep that positive energy and then you can get things done. It is possible to do it all if you have the right time, you know, the right mindset and a Google Calendar.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the big piece for me is that holds it all together. It's just looking at life from the standpoint of it's a gift every single day. And sometimes it's easier to remember that than it is others. But, you know, life happens and sometimes you just have to deal with it. And if you keep that positive mindset, it's easier to work through, you know, from that standpoint.
So how do you manage family stuff? Do you have a nanny? Do you?
Oh, girl, I wish I had a nanny. If someone could get me one of those, that would be amazing.
So like children and homework and doctor visits and recitals and sports practices and children get sick. It's all on you.
But see, so it's all on me. So I think of myself as a full-time stay-at-home mom and a full-time career woman, a full-time realtor. But that's where the pieces that Village Realty from a technology standpoint have put into place, I can do it because I can write contracts from the doctor's office on my phone.
Wow.
You know, I can send my documents out through my phone to get everybody's signature and we can go under contract while I'm sitting at the Brownie meeting.
Wow.
You know, so there are ways that those kinds of things, like .loop. I'm sure you're familiar with .loop.
I'm not, and I should be.
It's a digital signature service.
Okay.
So I can create all of my contracts inside .loop, and instead of having to, you know, scan them and email them or email and fax them, heaven forbid we fax anything anymore. No, I don't want to do any of that. You know, but I don't have to do that. I can create it inside .loop and then it immediately sends it out for electronic signature. So that kind of makes things a lot easier for me too because I can kind of multitask.
Yeah.
And while I love my 4th grade recorder concert, I don't have to listen to all of it to get the general gist of how it's going to go, you know? So I can kind of keep doing my work and just cheering my 10-year-old on. But I can do a lot of it from my phone, and that makes a big difference. If I had to sit at my desk and I had to do these things, it wouldn't work.
So I feel like this episode of Connect is all about gratitude. You know, we've thanked Google Drive, and I just want to thank the iPhone as well.
Oh, Steve Jobs,
right? Because
thank you so much.
Like, it really enables moms and dads and just anybody to have a more remote, accessible lifestyle. You know, you can balance career and family in a way that you could not before.
Oh, there's no way you could. I mean, if you had to sit at your desktop to get everything done, or a landline, you know, with a cord, which my kids don't even know what that is, you know, if I had to sit there, I mean, I couldn't get not even a third of what I do on a daily basis. I couldn't get it done.
It's amazing.
So I'm very grateful for the iPhone, the technology piece.
Yeah. Flip side to that, we're always connected, always on. And so how do you, being in all the things that you are, how do you kind of stay grounded and step back and connect with what matters most, whether it's your family, your faith, etc.?
Well, I think the key word here is boundaries, is that you have to kind of create some boundaries, which in the real estate world and the mommy world is not easy to do.
No.
You know, because think about it, when do you have the most time to go search for a house? It's
9
when
p.m.
you're, exactly, after work and on weekends, nights, that kind of thing. Well, I have to get a lot of the other side of your transaction done during the day, and then we go look at houses at night and on the weekend, so it kind of doesn't leave a lot of time to get the family stuff done. So what we have done is really created what those boundaries are. So when we have dinner, and once the kids are home, I can do a little bit on my phone, but then we have a definite stopping time. And so all the technology, all the iPhones, all the iPads, everything goes into one little spot in another room.
Love it. And
we are family at dinner. We sit at the dinner table, even if it's a fast running out the door because we have soccer practice in 10 minutes. We have a family dinner for at least 20 minutes with no technology. So I can't pick up my client calls. I can't, my kids can't look at their homework or anything like that. So that helps a lot, so being able to do that. And then I try really hard to keep Sundays as just family day. It doesn't always work, and we do the best that we can. But we've set aside those dinner times to talk about, how was your day? How was my 5th grader's experience? Or how did that math test go? Or how's my preschooler doing in farm day? And that kind of stuff. So we talk about the personal things of life that really are the key of what matters. A little bit each day. And then we try to keep Sundays as our day. So we go to church together, we go to lunch together, we do whatever it is that our kids want to do or we want to do together. And while they're not huge pieces of quality time, they're the pieces that we can grab, and they work great for us. And we feel completely connected to our kids, and my clients don't ever feel like I'm leaving them because I let them know up front that these are my boundaries, and then I respect whatever their boundaries are. So we kind of keep that in mind, that everybody has a bigger purpose than that one particular email at that particular time.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So I think that's what it is, because you are connected all the time.
All the time.
And
Apple
you
Watch.
can't turn off. I don't know what the 9 to 5 is. Anybody know what a 9 to 5 job is?
What is that?
Anymore?
I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Not a clue. And your boss can find you at any time.
Literally, like find my friends.
Yeah. Yes, awesome. Please no. I love you so much. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ginger, Village Realty is growing.
It is.
It's expanded beyond Buckhead, now in Alpharetta.
Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah.
And are you looking to bring on more brokers, or like how can we, watching out in the internet world, pour into both you personally and Village Realty as a company?
Awesome question. Thank you for asking that.
I kind of do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we opened the second location in Alpharetta, and it's because we saw the huge growth of the agent interest from the north side of Atlanta, but they can't always get down to the Atlanta Tech Village, into where our home office is.
Yeah.
So we opened that one there, and that's really been growing. I think that we have grown. I mean, don't quote me on my numbers, but I think that we are up to 101. No, I'm sorry. Somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around the 100 agent mark, which is really impressive. And I think it speaks a lot to what the model is that we've put together, kind of creating that balance. And that's been great. So from a what can we do to pour into it, I really appreciate that question. A lot of it is, if you happen to be looking for a house, if you could contact with a Village agent, at least to try it out and get the experience, that would be huge, because it grows our agent business, and therefore it grows the whole, the whole thing. But the other thing is really just what we want to do in some of these smaller ones, like the Alpharetta one, is we really want to become part of the fabric of the community. So not just someone who's looking for business there constantly, but a company that really gives back. So we get really involved in some of the local charities in there. Alpharetta is known for its little festivals that they do. It's like Brookhaven.
It's a great place.
It's so adorable. So we really get involved in those pieces so that our community knows that we're there to support them as much as we are, hoping that they'll support us too.
Right.
So I would say, as you see us around Buckhead and you see us around Alpharetta, Roswell area, just jump in and join us, because we do a lot of consumer education things, and we would love for you to be a part of that. And the more that you're there, the more we learn from you. So we see what is important to you and what drives you as consumers and as partners in the whole process.
And that's villagerealty.com?
It's VRATL.
VRATL.com. Awesome.
Yep. So check it out, and we'd love to come. We'd love to meet you. So if you ever want to come by and see the new office in Alpharetta, which is very, very different.
I bet it's so cool.
Than the Atlanta Tech Village. It's very, we're close to like equestrian country up there, so we're very farmhouse chic in our office up there.
I bet it's the cutest.
Oh my gosh, it is adorable. I just want to pinch its cheeks.
Yeah, maybe.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah, maybe you can pinch its cheeks. Maybe you can send us some pictures and we can show some B-roll of it. That would be great.
That would be great. That would be great.
So vrrealty.com.
VRATL.
Yeah. So clearly my memory is VRATL.com. And then you personally, how can we as a community of women, mothers, entrepreneurs pour into you personally?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is just that it's just the mental support and the encouraging support, really, to be honest. Because I think all of us, especially as women, we are pulled in so many different directions. But for us as women, we're emotionally tied to a lot of those different pulls, and so it can get kind of draining. So, anytime people send me little emails, just, hey, how's it going? That's great enough to me, just to keep that personal interaction when I think, oh yeah, I do have friends outside of work and my kids. That kind of thing would be fantastic. I mean, if you do have a house to sell, that'd be helpful. That's great too.
Yeah.
But no, I think the other thing I would say is I just love it because being a female entrepreneur, just the camaraderie and the support that we offer each other from just emotional. I mean, just from like Facebook connecting and just those kinds of things, and just reaching out saying, hey, you're doing a great job, or just I'm looking for this, and helping each other through that world is answering questions that you may have, like I need somebody who can do this, or I need a help with this. It raises my spirits when I see women helping women, and us all being in it and positively looking out for each other. So that would be the best thing for me too. So.
Yes, all of this. I just love all of this. Ginger Lightburn, thank you so much for being
oh my goodness.
On Connect.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I love what you're doing. I think that you are rocking this, and it's something that we need, and it's something that's great for us. So we appreciate what you do.
Girl power.
Girl power. Yay.